Good afternoon, children. Hope you all are fine. Before starting our today's class, I want to say few things to you all. Uh, First of all, get prepared for the half yearly exam. Okay. You just though the date and these things are not declared yet, but you just get prepared. Okay, revise the chapters properly, and whichever chapters we are doing, those things also you do simultaneously. Okay, another thing that is regarding the syllabus of half yearly exam. You know the syllabus already, I have discussed about that. But chemical reaction, this chapter only the first part we are going to do in half yearly. Okay, so there are two parts in this chapter. So let me say that. Let me just see. The number one is chemical reaction, which is up to page number, this is up to page number 73, where exercise 1 is there. So up to this only, means the first part, portion A, up to that only we are going to do in half yearly. Okay, type of chemical reactions, that is there in the second part, that is B. So that we are not, this part is not there in half yearly exam. Okay, so only the first part of the this chapter, chemical reactions, this is there in half yearly exam. Okay, and rest all chapters are as it is. So the portion for half yearly, that is matter, atomic structure, language of chemistry, and chemical reactions, only the first part. Okay, that means chemical reactions, portion A. Okay, up to page number 73. Okay, now let us start. We were doing conditions necessary for chemical reactions. So few points are left, so that we are going to discuss today. So conditions necessary for chemical reactions. Conditions for chemical reactions. So the point which we have not discussed yet, that is heat. Okay, you know heat is a kind of energy. So many reactions occur only when we apply heat, or when we will be heating the substance or the mixture of the reactants, then only they can react, and we are going to get the uh, going to get the product which we require. Okay, so one of this example of this kind of reaction is lead nitrate, heating of lead nitrate in a dry test tube. Okay, this reaction already we have discussed during the color change and all. So if we heat lead nitrate in a dry test tube, then what we are going to get? Lead oxide. Lead nitrate will decompose to form lead oxide. Nitrogen dioxide, this is the brown vapor of nitrogen dioxide, will be formed along with oxygen gas. Okay, so to balance this, we need 2 lead nitrate. So 2 PbO, 4 NO2 and O2. So this is the reaction. Here we are going to get yellow lead oxide, and the brown fumes or reddish brown vapor of nitrogen dioxide will be formed along with oxygen gas. So this reaction only when we are applying heat in lead nitrate, then only we are going to observe. If we keep this lead nitrate in a dry test tube and don't apply heat there, then we are not going to get this expected result or expected reaction. Okay, another such reaction where we need to apply heat, that is the reaction between iron and sulfur. Okay, the iron dust, grayish iron dust and yellow sulfur, if we mix this two together, and if we take this in a take this mixture in a dry test tube and keep this in open or keep it as it is, then we are not going to get the required result. But if we heat the mixture, if we heat this mixture of iron and sulfur, then they will react together to form ferrous sulfide, FeS. Okay, so this is a chemical reaction which will occur only when we apply heat in this mixture. Okay, so here heat is the necessary condition for this two reaction, and many this kind of many reactions are there. Next, light energy. This is also kind of energy, you know. So in there are few reactions where light will be act as the necessary condition for the chemical reaction. A very common reaction of this kind where light energy is required, that is photosynthesis. The green plant during the production of food, they require this light energy, otherwise the required reaction will not occur. Okay, so here what we need carbon dioxide along with water, and in presence of sunlight, in chlorophyll, we are going to get the green plant will make the food, and we are going to get glucose, C6H12O6 along with oxygen gas. Okay, this reaction is not balanced, so this is the glucose, and along with this oxygen will be formed. So if we don't apply sunlight here, then we cannot get the required reaction. Okay, so this reaction, you know, this is called photosynthesis. As in presence of sunlight we are getting this reaction, that's why it is called photosynthesis. Okay, in presence of photo or light, we are the green plant will synthesis food or glucose, okay, in their leaf. Next, one more condition is there which is necessary for few chemical reactions, that is electricity. This is also a kind of energy, we can say. So electricity, sometimes this also act as necessary condition for few reactions, like the when we decompose water. Okay, if we need to get water, this is called this, when we are going to pass electricity through water. Okay, through water, this is acidified water, because pure water cannot pass electricity. So it will not pass electricity through this, so we need to add some acid, either acid or any salt, or any we can use any alkali also. So any of these three we need to add here, otherwise we are not going to get this result. So when we are passing electricity through this water, this is called electrolysis process. In presence of electricity, when water will break down to produce hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so here from 2 water molecule we are going to get 2 hydrogen gas, 2 unit of or 2 molecule of hydrogen gas, and 1 molecule of oxygen gas. And this process only can occur when we pass electricity through acidified or acidified water. Okay, or instead of acid, as you know, we can use alkali or any salt, so that the water is ready to carry electricity through its okay. So this is next. pressure can also act as this necessary condition for few reactions. As you know, the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen to produce ammonia. Here we need near about 200 atmosphere pressure, okay, along with 450 degree centigrade temperature and all. These are the necessary conditions for this reaction. Okay, here two ammonia will be formed. Now in this reaction you can see that the temperature which is required, that is 200 atmosphere. So if without this temperature, if we try to produce ammonia, if we try to get that reaction, then it will not occur. Okay, so here pressure is acting as a necessary condition for this reaction. Next, catalysts are there which are also required for many chemical reactions. Catalysts are there. Catalysts are those substances which are required for few particular chemical reactions to increase or decrease the rate of the reaction. Okay, without the catalyst also sometimes the reaction may occur, but the conditions are not easily, we cannot attain the conditions easily. Okay, so the catalyst will act, catalyst will increase the rate of the reaction, increase or decrease the rate of the reaction, and easily we can get the required result. So one such, there are two kind of catalysts. Number one, two kind of catalysts are there. One is negative catalyst. First let us discuss the positive catalyst. Positive catalyst which will increase the rate, of the reaction, and negative catalysts are those catalysts which will decrease the rate of the reaction. Decrease the rate of the reactions. Now, first of all, we are going to discuss about positive catalyst. So, already we have discussed about this, the reaction between hydrogen and nitrogen to produce ammonia. Now, in this reaction, iron dust, okay, iron will act as catalyst to increase the rate of the reaction. Here iron will act as catalyst to increase the rate of the reaction, and easily we can get the required product. Okay, along with other conditions are also there, and this reaction is a reversible reaction. Here iron catalyst is there, along with molybdenum will act as promoter. Molybdenum will act as promoter, which will increase the efficiency of the catalyst. But without iron, molybdenum cannot act here, cannot cannot serve its purpose. So molybdenum is there only to help the catalyst, only to increase the efficiency of the catalyst. Okay, so here other conditions are also required, but as iron catalyst is increasing the rate of the reaction here, so it will act as positive catalyst for this reaction. Another example for this kind of positive catalysts are during the formation of oxygen gas. Potassium chlorate we need to take here So if we decompose potassium chlorate, it will produce potassium chloride along with oxygen gas will produce. Okay, in laboratory, during the laboratory preparation of oxygen, we generally use this reaction. But here, to decompose potassium chlorate, we need a high temperature. Okay, we need near about 700 degrees centigrade temperature to decompose potassium chlorate to produce KCl and oxygen. So 700 degrees centigrade temperature is required if we don't use any catalyst in this reaction. Okay, now to produce this kind of this much of temperature, that is not easy. Okay, so how to reduce this? Instead of this temperature, instead of this, if we use a catalyst, say manganese dioxide, MnO2. Okay, manganese dioxide, then near about 200 to 300 degrees centigrade temperature only we can get the required result. So 2 KClO3 is required here, 2 KCl plus 3 O2. Okay, so as we are using this manganese dioxide here, this will reduce the temperature from 700 degrees centigrade to 300 degrees centigrade, and easily we can produce oxygen in this reaction. So here manganese dioxide is acting as positive catalyst, as it is helping the reaction to occur or increasing the rate of the reaction. Now negative catalyst. Negative catalysts are those catalysts which reduces the rate of the reaction, which decreases the rate of the reaction, and this kind of catalysts are phosphoric acid. Okay, phosphoric acid. This phosphoric acid during the decomposition of H2O2. Okay, during the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen peroxide will decompose to produce water and oxygen. Okay, it will decompose to produce water and oxygen. Now if we need to keep hydrogen peroxide intact, we need to stop this decomposition, and in this reaction we can use phosphoric acid as catalyst, as negative catalyst, which will reduce the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide and it will remain intact, and we can use this hydrogen peroxide whenever we need it. Okay, so here, as phosphoric acid is reducing the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, so it is acting as negative catalyst. So now in our body there are few catalysts, like enzymes are the catalyst which will increase the rate of the reactions, like digestion of food and all. Okay, different enzymes are there which will act on different or particular food, particular type of food, and they will decompose the food and easily we can digest the food. Okay, so enzymes also can act as catalyst. So student, this part is here we have finished this first portion of this chemical reactions. So you just go through this properly, read line by line. Again repeatedly I am telling this, read line by line, because from anywhere the question may come. Okay, and be prepared for the exam, upcoming exam. Have a good day, stay safe, take care.